Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. สวัสดีค่ะ Today is our second day, and I think we have more academic network join us, who from abroad and also who from Thai University. So once again, I would like to introduce myself. My name's อาจารย์ชนิดาภา นุนวุฒิวงศ์ Welcome to call me Honey. I am a lecturer of Korea University. I'm very honored to be a master of ceremony for this event with Dr. Bandit.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to the first International Islamic Conference of the International Islamic College, Bangkok KRIRK University. The title of the conference is Rethinking the Economic, Social, and Cultural Integrations of Islamic World in the Contemporary Era, organized by the International Islamic College, Bangkok KRIRK University, Muslim Studies Center, Institute of Asian Studies, Chulalongkorn University, Andaman Institute of Technology, and Asian Islamic University Association. Without further delay, may I invite Mr. Karun Sasakun for recitations of the Holy Quran, please.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا وكنتم على شفا حفرة من النار فأنقذكم منها كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تهتدون ولتكن منكم أمة يدعون إلى الخير ويأمرون بالمعروف وينهون عن المنكر وأولئك هم المفلحون صدق الله العظيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته
Thank you very much, Mr. Karun Salakun, for recitation of the Quran. And now, may I invite Associate Professor Dr. Sarawut Ari, Director of Muslim Study Center, Institute of Asian Students Study, Chulalongkorn University, for addressing remark on behalf of organizer of Chulalongkorn University. Please join me to welcome.
Professor Dr. กระแส ชนะวงศ์ President of KRIRK University IR Ahmad Wichaksono Cultural Attaché of the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Bangkok Professor Dr. H. Mujibur Rahman Rector of UIN Antasari, Indonesia. Dr. Haji Nur Arfan Haji Zainal, Rector of UNISA, Brunei. Professor Dato Dr. Wan Sabri bin Wan Yusuf, Vice Chancellor of USAS, Malaysia. Professor Dr. Jalan Malulim, Dean of the International Islamic College, Bangkok. Associate Professor Dr. Sukri Langpute, Chairman of Andaman Institutes of Technology, friends, colleague, lecturer, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Muslim Studies Center, Institute of Asian Studies, Chulalongkorn University, as the co-organizer of the first international conference, I would like to express huge appreciation for the constant support and assistance we have received from our academic network like Andaman Institute of Technology and AIUA members. Actually, Muslim Studies Center, Chulalongkorn University and International Islamic College, Bangkok of KRIRK University, we working closely together to develop diverse courses and academic services on halal industry, Islamic finance, Hajj, and Umrah management. We are the think tank in Thai society and dedicated to the study from a multidisciplinary perspective of all aspects of Islamic culture and civilization and of contemporary Muslim society, especially in Thailand. Ladies and gentlemen, nowadays the Islamic economy and finance system found an increasing interest not among the Muslim countries, but also around the world. This interest is due to the fast evolution of Islamic economy and the growing of Islamic global market. Increasing numbers of people are recognizing that the Islamic economy can be a model for socially responsible and sustainable investment and a more secure way of supporting the world's financial and economic system. Therefore, it is important to state clearly that this gathering and the discussion we are going to have today represent the true face of the Muslim world. For authentic Islam means moderate Islam. Ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to see that the first international conference on rethinking the economic, social, and cultural integration of Islamic world in the contemporary era is going to focus on vital topics relating to hukuk, infrastructure development, halal industries, female empowerment, and disruptive technology, to name a few. Indeed, we must encourage more merit-based economic opportunities in the Muslim world. That is why the initiative taken by KRIRK University to hold the conference is very special and very important. The executive committee has agreed to support the academic networks through organizing this international conference, which is a key opportunity for strengthening the college staff and academics, including students. This is an opportunity to exchange academic information in various contexts and to strengthen KRIRK University academic network and quality, and to make it more popular among international universities in Asia and around the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Associate Professor Dr. Sarawut Ari, Director of Muslim Study Center, Institute of Asian Study, Chulalongkorn University. And now, I would like to invite Dr. Bandit R. Roman, Assistant Dean of International Islamic College, Bangkok, KRIRK University, for your addressing remark. Please join me to welcome.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Professor Dr. Kratse Chanawong, President of KRIRK University, Dr. Achmat Wikasono, cultural attaches of the Embassy of Republic of Indonesia, Bangkok. Professor Dr. Mujibur Rahman, President of AIUA. Professor Dato Dr. Wan Sapri bin Wan Yusof, Secretary of the AIUA. Professor Dr. Jaran Maklulim, Dean of the International Islamic College, Bangkok. Associate Professor Dr. Sarawut Ari, Director of Muslim Study Centers, Institute of Asian Study, Chulalongkorn University. Associate Professor Dr. Sukri Langpute, Chairman of Andaman Institute Technology. Professor Dr. Visut Lawiti from Islamic Committees of Thailand. Distinguished guests, friends, colleagues, lecturers, ladies and gentlemen, you may be surprised that the picture is showing on the screen is not me. But please give me permissions that our colleague Ajahn Ampon Kamvilai, with his pay full dedications for the yesterday conference, he was sick, and he asked me to be addressing remark on behalf of him. On behalf of the International Islamic College, Bangkok, I would like to address that the International Islamic College was initiated as a branch of the Faculty of Business Administration in last 3 years. However, the demands of graduate students in Thailand, especially in business administrations, are increasing. Due to the interest of Islamic business in Thailand and the efforts of Muslim scholars in terms of business administration, and the Muslim business experts in Thailand who have a very good knowledge and skills of Islamic business, like our colleagues Ajahn Sarawut Laksan, who is one of the founders of the International Islamic College, Bangkok, along with Dr. Parinya Parayatsap, one of the Thailand Hajj delegations of Thailand, Ajahn Dr. Samit Isaw, one of the experts of Islamic finance in Thailand, and many others from the different fields get together for academics collaboration and establish the International Islamic College Bangkok under the umbrella of KRIRK University. Therefore, with the prominence of our working, KRIRK University decided to establish the first International Islamic College Bangkok, which located in the heart of Bangkok on July 1st, 2022. The college aimed to build quality of graduates in Islamic business administrations in all levels and to develop a leading Islamic business college in Thailand. Currently, the course of Islamic business administration programs offer for both bachelor degree, master degree, and now we have PhD in Islamic business administration, which is the first University in Thailand, launching the international Islamic business. Ladies and gentlemen, during the AIUA 13th AGMs and International Conference, Islamic University, which held in Brunei Darussalam between 25th to 27 June 2023, my colleague Ajahn Ampon Kamvilai, the Deputy Dean of International Islamic College Bangkok, along with our Dean, Professor Dr. Charan Malulim, went for the meetings. And we have received full support from AIUA members for organizing the first international conference of Islamic College Bangkok on rethinking the economic, social, and cultural integrations of the Islamic world in the contemporary era today. And from that day, KRIRK University recognized as the full member of AIUA. Apart from international Islamic university collaborations, we also receive full support from national academic network like Muslim Studies Center of Chulalongkorn University, Andaman Institute of Technology under the leadership of Ajahn Professor Suki Langpute, that engaged many Thai and foreign scholars to join our conference today. With the significance of academic collaboration, our academic network would be strengthened not only for the quality of our university, but also the quality among our lecturers from the different universities, students that also would have more opportunity to work closely in the near future. I'm sincerely thanks for your joining, and please do not hesitate to get our support for your convenience during stay in Bangkok. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much. Dr. Bandit Araman, Assistant Dean of International Islamic College, Bangkok KRIRK University. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to bring you all to know about our university, KRIRK University. Please join me to watching the video presentation of KRIRK University. Please watching.
KRIRK University is one of the reputed universities in Thailand. It was established as a higher education since 1970 and developed to university since 1995. Currently, Professor Dr. Krsha as the president of KRIRK University. Today, KRIRK University is recognized as the top private university in Thailand, produce students with specialized personnel in various fields, building new generation with the skillful in business, language, culture, and leadership. In 2023, KRIRK University got 5 stars QS University ranking. Currently, we are ranking number 1 in Thailand, ranking number 7 in Asia, and 35 in the world for QS ranking in the field of art and design. With the significance of the Islamic business innovation and relations between Thailand to the Muslim world, in 2022, KRIRK University Council approved to establish the International Islamic College Bangkok under the supervision of KRIRK University. It is the first Muslim college in Bangkok that opens the course for bachelor's and master's degree and PhD in the various courses such as Halal Industry, Islamic Finance, Hajj and Umrah Service Management, Thai Middle East Business Innovation, Halal Tourism and Health Management, and Islamic Education Administration. The uniqueness of students would have proficiency in foreign languages such as English, Arabic, and Chinese. With the importance of academic collaboration, KRIRK University not only focuses on academic collaboration with Chinese University, but also other universities and institutions from Middle East and Asian countries. Currently, the International Islamic College Bangkok, under the leadership of Professor Dr. Charan Ma'lulin, Dean of International Islamic College Bangkok, along with Ajahn Ampon Kamvilai and Ajahn Sarawut Lasan, Deputy Dean working hard for international academic collaboration. Now with his effort, the college is a permanent member of Asian Islamic University Association, which having more than 60 universities and would be a pathway to achieve the academic collaboration via lecture, student exchange research, publication in the near future.
สิ่งที่เป็นประจักษ์พยานในความก้าวหน้าของวิทยาลัยก็คือวิทยาลัยได้มีการลงนามความร่วมมือกับส่วนของเอกชนและมหาวิทยาลัยต่างประเทศรวมทั้งองค์กรต่างๆในประเทศไทยจำนวนมากและยังมีการจัดการประชุมนานาชาติร่วมกับมหาวิทยาลัยในเอเชียตะวันออกเฉียงใต้หลายแห่งด้วยกันวิทยาลัยมีความมุ่งมั่นที่จะสร้างความเจริญเติบโตให้กับการศึกษาและผลิตนักศึกษาออกสู่ตลาดแรงงานและตลาดที่สามารถเชื่อมโยงระหว่างพื้นฐานความสำคัญของศาสนาอิสลามกับศาสตร์ต่างๆการศึกษาจะเป็นเหมือนพลังในการขับเคลื่อนและวิทยาลัยนานาชาติอิสลามมหาวิทยาลัยเกิดจะเป็นหนึ่งในเครื่องมือสำคัญที่จะผลักดันให้ความก้าวหน้าเหล่านี้ไปสู่ความสำเร็จในอนาคต
ในส่วนของหลักสูตรการบริหารของวิทยาลัยนานาชาติอิสลามกรุงเทพนะครับเราจะมีในส่วนของ3หลักสูตรแรกจะเป็นในส่วนของหลักสูตรปริญญาตรีบริหารธุรกิจอิสลามเราจะมี3กลุ่มวิชาก็คือการจัดการเงินอิสลามการจัดการบริการฮัจญ์และอุมเราะห์และอุตสาหกรรมฮาลาลในส่วนของระดับปริญญาโทนะครับเราก็จะมีในส่วนของการเงินอิสลามการจัดการบริการฮัจญ์และอุมเราะห์อุตสาหกรรมฮาลาลเช่นเดียวกันเหมือนกับระดับปริญญาตรีนะครับในส่วนของระดับปริญญาเอกครับหลักสูตรปรัชญาดุษฎีบัณฑิตของเรามี5กลุ่มวิชาก็คือการเงินอิสลามการจัดการบริการฮัจญ์และอุมเราะห์อุตสาหกรรมฮาลาลนะครับนวัตกรรมธุรกิจไทยตะวันออกกลางและสุดท้ายเป็นกลุ่มวิชาใหม่คือการจัดการเชิงท่องเที่ยวสุขภาพและมีหลักสูตรใหม่ล่าสุดก็คือในเรื่องของศึกษาศาสตร์มหาบัณฑิตครับ
ในส่วนของความร่วมมือการทำ MOU ทางวิชาการนะครับก็ได้ขยายไปในส่วนต่างๆ ไม่ว่าจะเป็นในส่วนขององค์กรศาสนาในประเทศอิสลามอย่างของภายในประเทศเนี่ยก็ยกตัวอย่างของเราได้รับความร่วมมือนะครับจากทางสำนักจุฬาราชมนตรีแล้วก็สำนักงานคณะกรรมการกลางอิสลามแห่งประเทศไทยนี่ก็เป็นตัวอย่างของหน่วยงานที่เป็นด้านศาสนาในประเทศไทยของเรานะครับและยังมีภาคส่วนของธุรกิจอีกนะฮะอย่างเช่นสมาคมต่างๆที่อยู่ในภาคส่วนของธุรกิจตลอดจนในส่วนของเอกต่างๆไม่ว่าจะเป็นอุตสาหกรรมฮาลาลเนี่ยเราก็ได้รับความร่วมมือนะครับจากหลายๆส่วนเลยไม่ว่าจะเป็นสถานประกอบการต่างๆที่ทยอยทำความร่วมมือกับเรานะครับดังนั้นเราจะเห็นได้ว่าเมื่อนักศึกษาเนี่ยมาเรียนกับเราแล้วก็จะได้รับสิทธิพิเศษนะครับมากมายไม่ว่าจะเป็นในส่วนของการฝึกปฏิบัติงานจริงเลยนะครับในสถานที่จริงที่ประเทศซาอุดิอาระเบียนะครับในส่วนนี้เนี่ยเราได้รับความร่วมมือกับประเทศซาอุดิอาระเบียอย่างเต็มที่เลยนะครับทุกอย่างเนี่ยได้รับความกรุณาแล้วก็ฟรีตลอดการฝึกงานที่ประเทศซาอุดิอาระเบียนะครับเรายังได้ขยายความร่วมมืออีกนะครับในส่วนอื่นๆเช่นในส่วนของเราเข้าเป็นสมาชิกนะครับถาวรของ AIUA นะครับซึ่งเป็นองค์กรด้านสมาคมของมหาวิทยาลัยอิสลามในอาเซียนนะครับเรายังมีองค์กรด้านมัชมะอัลมาลิกซัลมานนะครับลิลลุกะติลอาระบียะห์ก็คือเป็นองค์กรด้านภาษาอาหรับนะครับของประเทศซาอุดิอาระเบียเดินทางมาเยือนมหาวิทยาลัยเกิดของเราแล้วก็จะได้ทำการร่วมมือระหว่างกันเพื่อให้นักศึกษาของเราเนี่ยมีการฝึกนะครับแล้วก็ด้านภาษาที่ประเทศซาอุดิอาระเบีย
International Islamic College Bangkok ensure that Thai students and international students are welcome and will be taken care under the KRIRK University for their higher graduation. Thank you.
And now, may I invite the President of KRIRK University, Professor Dr. กระแส ชนะวงศ์ President of KRIRK University to give welcoming remark to our academic contributor from the entire regions. Please join me to welcome
Ahmed Wikasono, Cultural Attaché of the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Bangkok. Professor Dr. H. Mujiburaman, Rector of UIN, and Sari, Indonesia. Dr. Haji Norafan Haji Saimal, Rector of the UNISSA Brunei. Professor Dato Dr. Wan Sabri bin Wan Yusof, Vice Chancellor of USAS Malaysia. Professor Dr. Charan Malurin, Dean of the International Islamic College, Bangkok. And also he is now acting the President, Vice President of KRIRK University as well. Associate Professor Dr. Sarawut Ari, Director of the Muslim Studies Center, Institute of Asian Studies, Chulalongkorn University. Associate Professor Sukri Langpute, Chairman of the Andaman Institute of Technology. Friends, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of KRIRK University, we are delighted and very honored to welcome you all here today in this first international conference of International Islamic College Bangkok, KRIRK University, Thailand. Under the theme of the conference entitled Rethinking the Economic, Social and Cultural Integration of Islamic World in the Contemporary Era. Our university are getting full response from many international authors. This is the important step of college to elaborate the academic collaboration and exchange experiences among the different perspectives for steering direction of social, culture, and economic integration. KRIRK University also supporting the international discussion that led the developments of research questions as well as related to the developments of curriculum in halal industry, Islamic finance, Hajj, Umrah management, Thai Middle East business innovation and medical tourism, which become the most popular subject now. I strongly believe that International College of Islamic College Bangkok would be leading business institution in the nation and bringing academic cooperation between KRIRK University and other universities as well. I also wish the conference would have fruitful outcome and learning experience from each scholar who contributed their thought and ideas, sharing in each session. On behalf of KRIRK University, we hope that the Islamic International College Bangkok will play an important role in producing educational personnel in various fields related to Islamic business and would be a center of academic knowledge, counseling, and institution that can make effective support that needs of both domestic and international users. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have an honor to give you some activities of KRIRK University today too. We are very close to China, and also we have good relationship with many universities in China. At the same time, we are also very much interested in the One Belt, One Road initiative. At the same time, for our benefit, for our students' progress and development, to understand the future of responsibility, we also have established at least 3 institute to support the meaning, objective of One Belt, One Road initiative. We established the first one is Thai China ASEAN Institute to learn more about the real objective of One Belt, One Road initiative so that our students, bachelor degree, master degree or doctoral degree student can understand that after graduation, what can be done for them to make agreeable with the change, with the meaning of One Belt, One Road initiative, which is very much interested by Thailand and ASEAN too. The second institute that we have established is the Institute of Disaster Management. Disaster management is very much effective to any project, any development, including One Belt, One Road initiative. So that we have to study. We have to give our students opportunity to understand the meaning of change in the climate change too. This is very important. The third one is the Leadership Development Institute. Leadership development is very important. It's really needed in our society. So that in terms of One Belt, One Road initiative, we also need good leadership. Because good leadership, it will be positive attitude to the project, to the change. That is what we want to tell you about our university now. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attention and your participation. I wish you the best and enjoy the conference and back home safe and well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. กระแส ชนะวงศ์ President of KRIRK University, for your welcoming remark.
And now I would like to invite Dr. I.R. Atmak Bikasono, Cultural Attaches of the Embassy of Republic of Indonesia in Bangkok, for the opening remarks of the first International Conference of International Islamic College Bangkok KRIRK University on Rethinking the Economic, Social and Cultural Integration of Islamic World in the Contemporary Era.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The Honorable Professor Dr. Kasai Chanamwong, the President of KRIRK University of Thailand, the Honorable Professor Dr. Mujibur Rahman, the President ASEAN Islamic University Association, and Professor Dr. Wan Sobri, the Secretary of this ASEAN Islamic University Association, the Honorable the Dean of the International Islamic College, which is also the keynote speaker today, Professor Dr. Jaran Malulim, and the Honorable Associate Professor Dr. Srawut Ari, the Director of the Muslim Studies Center, Institute of Asian Studies, Chulalongkorn University, and our special guest, the Honorable Ibu Siti Haniatun Nisa, the President of Sekolah Tinggi Ilmu Fikih Sheikh Nawawi, Banten, and all the university president from Indonesia, Brunei Darussalam, Thailand, Malaysia, and also Maldives. Honored guests, distinguished speakers, esteemed scholars, respected participants, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Sawadikap, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin, wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in, amma ba'du. It is both an honor and privilege to welcome you all to this significant conference with the theme of Rethinking the Economic, Social and Cultural Integration of the Islamic World in the Contemporary Era. We gather here today as individuals and representatives of a diverse and vibrant community, sharing a common thread, the rich tapestry of Islamic heritage. On behalf of the Ambassador of Indonesian Embassy in Bangkok, first of all, thank you to the President of the KRIRK University and the Dean of the Islamic College Bangkok that giving us the opportunity to give this opening remark today. My name is Ahmad Wicaksono. I'm the Associate Professor in Civil Engineering Department in Brawijaya University in Malang, East Java. But now I have a duty as an attaché of education and culture at the Indonesian Embassy here in Bangkok. So with my background as a civil engineer, maybe it is very close to the one that the President mentioned about One Belt, One Road, the policy of China, and also related with disasters management. So next time, maybe I can discuss about this with the University of the KRIRK universities. In an increasingly interconnected world, understanding the complexities and dynamic of the Islamic world integration is of paramount importance. As we navigate the multifaceted challenges and opportunities in the contemporary era, we must engage in meaningful dialogue and rethink our economic, social, and cultural integration approaches. Ladies and gentlemen, as we embark on this intellectual journey, may I remind of the profound word of the Holy Quran in Surah Al-Hujurat, ayat 13, that yesterday is already told by the Shaykhul Islam. Ya ayuhan nas, inna khalaqnakum min dzakari wa unsa waj'alnakum su'ubaw wa qabaila lita'arafu. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum innallaha alimun khabir. Sorry. This is the translation. O mankind, indeed we have created you from male and female and made you people and tribes that you may know one another. Indeed, the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous of you. Indeed, Allah is knowing and acquainted. This verse encapsulates the essence of our purpose here today, to come together, to know one another, and to collectively strive for rightness and excellency. Throughout the 2 days event, our esteemed speakers will share their wisdom, insight, and expertise on various dimensions of integration within the Islamic world. We are privileged to have a diverse panel representing academia, industry, and civil society, offering a broad spectrum of perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, in the contemporary era, in the ASEAN, we have several social factors that stand out now. First is economic development and urbanization. Rapid economic growth and urbanization have led to significant changes in the social fabric of Asian countries. Urbanization has brought about shift in lifestyle, increased migration to cities, and the rise of urban challenges, such as infrastructure development, housing, and social services. Yeah, in terms of infrastructures, I myself my specialization is in transportation engineering. So usually, yeah, I'm discussing about how to build a road, how to build an infrastructure like airport, like a railway. Yeah. Second, we have a problem of social inclusion and equity. In many Asian countries, addressing social inequality, poverty, and marginalization remains challenging. Promoting social inclusion, providing social safety nets, and reducing disparities is important for sustainable development. The third one is the problem of healthcare and well-being. Ensuring access to quality healthcare and promoting public health initiatives are crucial social factors, especially in the context of global health challenges, as we have before the COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah. The fourth one is civic engagement and governance. Citizens' participation in governance and decision-making process is increasingly important. Strengthening democratic institutions, promoting transparency, and enhancing civic engagement are vital social factors. The fifth one is the cultural diversity and identity. ASEAN is known for its cultural diversity, with a multitude of ethnic groups, language, religion, and tradition. Balancing the preservation of cultural heritage with the promotion of regional integration and cooperation is a critical social factor. Nowadays, the Embassy of Indonesia has already did some cultural performance in several universities. But in the future, we hope that we can also do it in this KRIRK University. Like what we have Indonesian Day or Indonesian Festival in the university, we did for some universities in Thailand. Hopefully, we will have like that here in KRIRK University. And then the sixth one is regional integration and ASEAN community building. The goal of building an ASEAN community requires effort to enhance social cohesion, understanding, cooperation among the member states with their diverse population. The seventh one is today's era. We have a digital connectivity and technology. The increasing adoption of digital technology and connectivity has transformed the way people interact, communicate, and access information. The eighth one is the important one, the education and skill development. Access to quality education and skill development is crucial for ASEAN socioeconomic growth. The important social goals are improving education system, promoting STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education, and fostering lifelong learning. Ladies and gentlemen, the Islamic Education Network in the contemporary era of ASEAN face several challenges that impact their ability to effectively meet the need of Muslim community and contribute to broader societal development. Here in ASEAN, we have some common challenges. One is before globalization and Western influences. The challenges of adapting to globalization and navigating Western influences while maintaining cultural and religious identity can impact the Islamic education. The second one, relevant to contemporary issues. Some Islamic education systems struggle to address contemporary issues such as technology, ethics, environmental sustainability, and social justice. But when we learn more and more with some additional knowledge from hadith and from other contemporary knowledge, then we can understand that actually Islam is very broad and it can also give more explanation on what now we have the problem. The third one is integration of modern knowledge, balancing traditional Islamic teaching with modern knowledge, including science, technology, and humanities, can be challenging. Integrating this aspect while preserving the integrity of religious teaching requires careful consideration. The fourth one is interfaith and intersectarian relation. Promoting understanding and harmony among different religious and sectarian groups within Islam and with other faith communities can be challenging in some regions, including ASEAN. The fifth one is cultural and linguistic diversity. ASEAN countries are culturally and linguistically diverse. So balancing the need for a standardized Islamic education with cultural and linguistic variation can be challenging. The sixth one is youth engagement. Engaging the younger generation in meaningful and relevant ways is crucial. So the traditional teaching method may not always resonate for modern youth. And the seventh one is the quality of education. Ensuring the quality of Islamic education is a challenge in some area, particularly in under-resourced regions. This quality of education includes addressing outdated curricula, teacher qualification, and teaching method to provide a well-rounded and relevant education. 8. Standardization and accreditation. The lack of standardized curricula and accreditation across Islamic educational institutions can lead to inconsistency in quality and recognition. Based on my experience as the Quality Assurance Officer and Accreditation Committee in the Indonesian Ministry of Education, and I also work as the assessor for the AUNQA and IAB, Indonesian Accreditation Board for Engineering Education, and also I'm the assessor of LAM Technique. Therefore, in this opportunity, I would like to support the ASEAN Islamic Quality Assurance, AIQA, that yesterday we talked about. We hope that it will become an internationally recognized accreditation board. So hopefully this new accreditation body will also adopt what is the recent one we call as the OBE, outcome-based education. This is very relevant that now most of the countries are applying the outcome-based education curriculum. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each one of you for joining us today. Your presence, your intellect, and your commitment to the betterment of our global Islamic community make this conference all the more meaningful. May this conference be a beacon of knowledge, an embodiment of unity, and a catalyst for positive change. I look forward to insightful discussion and collaboration that will undoubtedly emerge from our deliberation today. Excuse me for speak in Thai. If I wrong, please. Sorry for that. ผมหวังว่าการสัมมนาในครั้งนี้จะเป็นสองครั้งแห่งความรู้ส่วนรวมความสามัคคีและกระตุ้นการเปลี่ยนแปลงทางด้านดีๆจากการสัมมนาในครั้งนี้ผมหวังว่าเราจะได้มีการหันเหและความรวมเมาต่อไปในอนาคตครับ So we would like to say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, and this is the opening of this conference. Thank you, and may Allah blessing be upon us all. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wallahul muwafiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Dr. AI Ahmad Wijaksono. Can you please on the stage for a while? So may I invite our President of KRIRK University, Professor Dr. Krsay Chanawong, President of KRIRK University, to present a token of appreciation. Please. Thank you very much, Dr. Ahmad Wicaksono, the cultural attaché from the Embassy of Indonesia to the Kingdom of Thailand. And thank you for your accepting our invitation for the opening of the first International Islamic College Bangkok. Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, before I invite our prominent keynote speaker of the conference, Professor Dr. Charan Malulim. He not only famous in Thailand, he also well known, I think, in the Muslim world. I think if you just click and search his name, I think his name already, well recognized, especially from Asia and also in ASEAN as well as in the Middle East. Kindly permit me for a few minutes, just I would like to briefings of his profiles. Professor Dr. Charan Malulim is the professor in political science who studied abroad from Aligarh Muslim University, India. And he has devoted himself for the education and devoted to younger generations for not only for the Muslim but also for everyone in Thailand. If you notice that he helped a lot to the students who need his advice. He was an advisor to the Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Thailand during Thaksin Shinawatra was the Prime Minister since 2002 to 2005, and now Thaksin Shinawatra already here in Thailand. He also was the chairman of Islamic Affairs, Government's House of the Kingdom of Thailand, and was the advisor of the Foreign Affairs, National Security Councils of the Kingdom of Thailand. Professor, distinguished guest, he is already 65 years old now, but he is still working very hard for writing newspaper, especially in Matichon Weekly. He is also manager of the newspaper of the Bangkok Business Newspapers, and he has appointed as the professor emeritus of Thammasat University. On his achievements, we invited him as the Dean of International Islamic College Bangkok. We know that he is so busy. We know that he would not have time to contribute his administration to our university. But the only words he said to us, we want to make the strengthenings for the young generation. We want to make our young generations, especially the Muslim generation from the deep south, from the southern part of Thailand, to improve the quality of life to the key of education. He said the key of education is the way to improve the quality of life. That's why he has accepted to be the Dean of International Islamic College Bangkok. Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome Professor Dr. Charan Malulim for keynote address today on Muslim in Thailand and the integration of Islamic network in ASEAN.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Professor Kasa Chanawong, President of KRIRK, on the professors, rectors, and honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today I would like to present my papers. This paper I was invited to address few years ago as ASEM or Asian Europeans meeting at Jakarta. And this article has been published in the Journal of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Jakarta, few years ago. That is about interfaith dialogue in religious pluralistic society of Southeast Asia, a case study of Thailand, as our beloved cultural attaché of Indonesia has mentioning that one way of our what we call our unity among the diversity in Southeast Asia, that is, of course, include interfaith dialogue in religious pluralistic society. How do we live with others' faiths, or how we giving some important empowering the moderate. It means we should support ummatan wasatan, as Quran mentioning. We should support as a middle part, people of the middle part. This is an important, as the name of Islam is related to peace. Okay. So what I would like to begin is that human beings have a natural desire to enter into inter-religious dialogue and share religious experience. And faiths need new ways of understanding so that we call, and all together we can all live with our traditions and also multicultural amidst of religious pluralism. Therefore, in our world, there is religious diversity in Southeast Asia that is divided by continental, maritime boundaries, countries on the mainland continent, mostly dedicated their faith to Buddhism, whereas the maritime archipelago state devoted their faith to Islam. So, because of this, when we look into the Thai society, we realize that Thai Muslim, along with Thai Buddhists and others, must get together, find non-violent way for adhering justice, peace, and security, for we are an interdependent world community. So because of this, to me, I thought that interfaith dialogue is essence in religious pluralistic society, and it contributes towards peace and prosperity in Southeast Asia in general and in Thailand in particular. As a matter of fact, we do have 300 million Muslims in Southeast Asia, making up about 50% of the total Southeast Asian population and 25% of the total world Muslim population, estimated nowadays maybe 1.9 million, as Professor Kase has mentioning yesterday. So the majority of Muslims in Southeast Asia, of course, belong to the Sunni sect and follow its Shafi'i school of Muslim jurisprudence. So, 3 Southeast Asian countries, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Brunei, which today we have many of our brothers present here, have Muslim majority population. Why Muslim in Thailand, the Philippines, Singapore, Burma or Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam are in the minority? Of course, Islam is the official religion of Malaysia and Brunei, and is one of the officially recognized religion of Indonesia, Thailand, and the Philippines. Southeast Asian Muslims come from ethnic groups speaking different languages such as Bahasa Indonesia, Malay, Javanese, Maranao, Maguindanao, and Tausung, Thai, Chinese, and Burmese, which I have already mentioned in my books long ago. The Muslim, along with Thai Buddhists and others, must together find a non-violent way for achieving the justice as mentioning. And also, Southeast Asia consists of 10 countries that reach from eastern India to China and is generally divided into mainland and island zone. The mainland, for example, that is from Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam, is actually an extension of Asian continent. Muslims can be found in all mainland countries, but the most significant population are in southern Thailand and western Myanmar, that we have heard about the faiths of our brother and sister from Arakan. The Cham people of central Vietnam and Cambodia have also Muslim. About 300 million Muslims live in archipelago that stretch from southern Thailand through Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia, and north to the southern of the Philippines, Myanmar, northern and southern Thailand, and of course Cambodia. It includes the world's most populated Muslim state and its largest democracy, or we can say that the second largest democracy of the world, that is Indonesia. It includes 3 majority Muslim states, that is Brunei, Indonesia, and Malaysia. 4 with significant minorities like Myanmar, the Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand, and also a small and declining minority in Cambodia. So Muslims in the region can be characterized as displaying a growing Islamic awareness, significant involvement in politics, and developing interaction with the rest of the Muslim world. The spread of Islam to various parts of coastal India set the strong for its further expansion to island of Southeast Asia. So I would like to say that Thailand is a constitutional monarchy with respect for democracy and pluralism. As a developing with a multi-ethnic and multi-religious population, Thailand has always respected religious diversity. The Thai state has paid special attention to its southern Muslim population. With respect for the Islamic religion and culture of the population, Islam as a universal religion recognizes diversity in humanity as a natural event. So the purpose behind the diversity is not to endanger conflict, but unity based on the principle of diversity as mentioned in the following of the Quran. As we have heard just now, that, oh, human being, we have created you all out of a man and female and have made you into nation and tribe so that you may come to know one another. Verily, the noblest of you in the sight of God is one who most deep conscious of him. Behold, God is all-knowing, all aware. So now come to the interfaith harmony. Why we have to have interfaith harmony? Because we want to live together within the teaching of religion that lead human to the progressive, to the peace and on things good for life. When we talk about religion, we also witness that all the religions in Southeast Asia having ethnic perspective, this become barrier. For example, Thai has to be a Buddhist, Malay has to be a Muslim, the Philippines has to be a Christian, and China has to be a Confucianist. Because of ethnic perspective of religion, this is a big barrier. What is needed is a universal understanding, because all religion is universal in that message. So there is a need of universal understanding of each religion. So dialogue of religion has not yet taken off in Southeast Asia. It's still in infant state, because what the Western talk about dialogue, most of the Southeast Asian people think that its mission is disguised so that it should be a distinction between mission and dialogue. The dialogue between religion should be a dialogue of life at a popular level and should not be restricted only to intellectual and theologian. Dialogue of life means jointly addressing and revolving economic and social issue, problem and conflict for the common good of all community, like population, economic hardship, healthcare, education, and moral upliftment. Dialogue should help to change and go together so that we can understand reality and work together. Dialogue should be multi-dimensional and not dominated by one group only. So there should be complete honesty and sincerity and dedicated to dialogue. That should be no hidden agenda. So those engaged in dialogue should be self-critical and not apologetic, calling spade to spade. So dialogue partner should try to experience each other religion from within to better appreciate and emphasize with on religion and culture of the world. So what is the future part of dialogue? Human beings have a natural desire to enter into interreligious dialogue and share religious experience, but somehow obstructed by fear and condition prejudice which we go. However, if we encourage the interreligious dialogue, it can become an honor discussion. Hence, it is important that after knowing the barrier to dialogue mentioned before, we should also lay down some basic for dialogue within the reality of the present situation of religious pluralism. Then on religion, that all religion contain experience of reality that transcend human conception. All religions have a conception of ultimate reality called by various names such as God, Brahman, Brahma, Yahweh and Allah, which cannot be fully conceptualized. We should not judge between them, but respect every conception of reality. We, in our diversity, should dialogue our experience of transcendent reality as a shared experience with the perspective of global pluralistic community. Ultimate reality is perceived in a plurality of ways, both within and between religions. Recognition of plurality is necessary to safeguard religious freedom and human limitation. Religion pluralism is witnessed in the history of religion. There is no religious absolutism. Religious absolutism destroys interreligious dialogue. Hence, preservation of religious freedom as an essential principle to be recognized and respected by all. We should also recognize that it is a historical fact that there is unity or coherence of mankind's religious history, but not unity of religion within even one so-called religion, let alone among all. Thus, we must see unity of religious history of mankind. And also from the following verse of the Quran, we say that had Allah willed, He could have made you community, but that He may try you by that which He had given you, He had made you as you are. So complete and so compete with another in good work unto Allah ye will return, and He will then inform you of those wherein ye differ. This from Quran 5:48. Though send critical dialogue, we penetrate even further into our own particular experience of ultimate reality and possibly also into ultimate reality of others. Spiritual growth arises not from religious exclusivism, but rather in context of religious pluralism. The reason obtained from engaging interreligious dialogue that it is in our enriching experience which deepens one's own religious experience and help us to reach a sincere of shared experience of ultimate reality which break out particularly through spiritual freedom and obtain of spiritual, obtain within spiritual present in our expression. A simple requisite for future dialogue is that all participants have good information of each region. Absence of this is probably the biggest obstacle to the success of religious dialogue. True empathy and understanding require that we learn each other's religion. For mere superficial understanding of religious based on hearsay is to really to be an obstacle to dialogue. So previous effort in dialogue undertaken by well-meaning Christian, Muslim, Jews, Hindus, and Buddhists have failed because they held polite and gradual gathering and return home without having entered into each other thought form. So interreligious meetings should generate syncretism and spiritual renewal. There is also the need to establish religious studies department in university and seminary which are the equal opportunity for the study of all major religions and language without bias. For Max Muller, the founder of the comparative study religious, has rightly remarked that he who knows one knows none. For all religions have to develop their own pluralistic theology of religion. For its such understanding and dialogue lies the future of religions and challenge of living interreligious together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your fruitful sharing on Muslim in Thailand, and please be on the stage for a while. And now I would like to invite Professor Dr. กระแส ชนะวงศ์ President of KRIRK University to present the token of the appreciation to the Professor Dr. Jaran Malulim.
On the stage, please. Can you please go
Yes.
in front of the... Okay.
Yes, and we also invite you to take photo section together after we are taking appreciation to the Dean.
I think both of rectors,
Yes.
president and the dean also work very hard for the Thai society for long, especially for the... May I request President of KRIRK University to be on the stage along with Professor Jaran Malulim. And next, I would like to invite our organizer who brings a part of this conference. Firstly, may I invite Professor Dr. Mujibur Rahman, President of AIUA, Associate Professor Dr. Sarawut Ari, Director of Muslim Studies Center, Associate Professor Dr. Sukri Langpute, Chairman of Andaman Institute Technology, and Professor Dato Wan Sopri Wan Yusop, please on the stage. This is our co-partners, our co-organizer of the first International Islamic Conference of International Islamic College Bangkok. So firstly, may I invite Professor Dr. กระแส ชนะวงศ์ to present a token of appreciation to Professor Mujibur Rahman, President of AIUA. Present to the Professor Mujibur Rahman first. Professor Mujibur Rahman. The President of AIUA. who always give lot of advice to us. And the second one, Dr. Sarawut Ari, Director of Muslim Studies Center of Institute of Asian Studies, Chulalongkorn University. And the third one, Associate Professor Dr. Sukri Langpute, Chairman of Andaman Institute of Technology. And the next one, Professor Dato' Wan Strawberry. Thank you very much for your cooperative and advice. And from the Embassy of Indonesia, would like to present a token of appreciation to the President, please. From the Embassy of Indonesia, from the Embassy of Indonesia, would like to present a token of appreciation to the President of KRIRK University, Professor Dr. Chana Wong. So, thank you very much. And everyone, please. Wow, wonderful gifts. So may I request everyone to be on the stage.
So right now, may I invite all participants to take photo together.
And the speaker,
Yes.
presenter,
Yes.
this is the first International Islamic
Yes.
College Bangkok. So may I invite Rector, President, Vice Chancellor from the University of Maldives, the University from Brunei Darussalam, University from Malaysia, University from Indonesia, all colleagues who come for presenting the papers, for joining our photo sessions.
القادر المقتدر المقدم المؤخر الأول الآخر الظاهر الباطن الوالي المتعالي البر التواب المنتقم العفو مالك الملك ذو الجلال والإكرام
บ่ายโมงนี่คือไปห้องเลยใช่ไหมคะ แล้วเราเจออีกทีตอนเย็นเลยนะ3 โมง
So now we have very special sessions for the first international conference of IICB. So may I pass my moderatings of the programs to our moderator of the sessions. So may I invite Associate Professor Dr. Sukri Langpute, Chairman of Andaman Institute of Technology, to be on the stage for moderating the session of Economic, Social, Culture, Integrations, and Religion Tolerance. Please.
الرزاق الفتاح العليم القابض
من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والحمد لله وثم الحمد لله الذي بنعمته تتم الصالحات ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله ولا ما بعد. Terima kasih saya ucapkan kepada pihak Universiti KRIRK yang sudi mengadakan program pada 2 hari ini, dan insyaAllah kita akan teruskan lagi satu perjuangan untuk policy discussion pada sesi ini. Saya menjemputkan Profesor Dr. Mujibur Rahman dari Indonesia, Profesor Datuk Dr. Wan Sabri Wan Yusuf dari Malaysia, Dr. Ibrahim Zakaria Musa dari Maldives, dan juga tidak asing, tidak terakhir, yaitu Dr. Hambali Jali ke pentas. Alhamdulillah. So I would like to invite our panelists for this session, Professor Dr. Mujibur Rahman from Indonesia, and Professor Datuk Dr. Wan Sabri Wan Yusuf, Dr. Ibrahim Zakaria Musa from Maldives, and also, last but not least, Dr. Hambali Jali. I purposely mention and use Malay language just to make it international. No, we have started with Lugha Arabiya, بتلاوة القرآن بالعربية لغة الجنة. So at least, English, Arabic, and maybe we will listen to Thai words, Thai words, and Chinese words in order to become real international conference. If you come to Thailand normally, when you are talking about international conference, you will see 4 languages normally. The first is English, the second is Arabic, the third is Malay, and the last one is Thai. Because if you organize a program in Malaysia, Indonesia, or somewhere else in the world, once you use Thai, it becomes international as well. But in KRIRK, it's special. You must greet them with Chinese. Okay? We have only 1 hour to be with you. And together with me this morning, 4 prominent figures from 4 countries. And I myself, Thailand, as one of the organizers of this conference, would like to mention that this is historical event. Dr. Sarawut Lesan, as Deputy Dean, thank you very much for KRIRK University and ICB to host this program, because on my far right from Maldives, to make it Asia, otherwise from Professor Datuk Wan Sabri to Brunei is just ASEAN. But AIUA is not ASEAN Islamic Universities Association, but we are Asian Islamic Universities Association. By the presence of Maldives, you make us Asia. Thank you very much. And I'll read one by one the profile, which in fact, if you really want to know who are they, it takes 3 days each. But I will just make it short, starting with the one who is heading this delegation from AIUA, the president, Professor Dr. Mujibur Rahman from Indonesia. He's a professor of sociology of religion. Interesting. Sociology of religion. And the issues we are going to discuss today is economic, social, cultural integration, and religious tolerance. Okay? And he's director of Antasari State Islamic University, Banjarmasin. For your information, the panelists, in Thailand we have architecture. We call it Panya. Ban Song Panya. Ban Song Panya is originally from Banjar. Banjarmasin is related to house architecture. And Thai architects knows all the things about Panya house style. Okay. He got his PhD, his BA from his in Antasari in Usuluddin, and then his master's in religious studies from McGill University. And he got PhD from the Faculty of Art and Humanities from Utrecht University. So because of multiple experiences and also places of acquiring knowledge, we will listen to him. Unfortunately, we'll give you only 10 to 15 minutes. It means that you have to come again next year. or the participants have to follow you to Banjarmasin. The second speaker, hailing from Malaysia, the Vice Chancellor of University Sultan Azlan Shah, Professor Datuk Dr. Wan Sabri Wan Yusof. He's my senior. He's the first batch of economics, Kuliah of Economics of International Islamic University Malaysia. And I'm the first batch of political science of the same university many, many years ago, when we were young. And we choose to introduce Prof. Mujibur Rahman first, because the rest of the speakers, and also myself, are from international Islamic universities. So we have to report to IUM that at least, the alumni of UIM is here.
Panel.
Yeah. Prof. Wan Sabri obtained his first BA in Islamic Economics from International Islamic University and Masters in Islamic Review Knowledge and Heritage, focusing on religious studies. Long, I don't want to talk more. I will ask him to talk instead of I am telling his story. But interestingly, he got PhD from Temple University. So he was with, the center that Faruqi, the late Faruqi has established. So currently, he is the professor of economics and also the Vice Chancellor of University Sultan Azlan Shah. We call it in Malaysia Vice Chancellor. At the same time, he is also the Secretary General of Asian Islamic Universities Association. The third speaker, Dr. Ibrahim Zakaria Musa. In fact, all your names are the Prophet's name. Otherwise, Ibrahim, Zakaria, Musa, Isa, MashaAllah, Sheikh. He's the Vice Chancellor of the Islamic University of Maldives, and he was former Rector of College of Islamic Studies, Maldives as well. Interestingly, he got BA from Kuliah Sharia in Jamiah Islamiyah Madinah Al Munawwarah. See? So his Arabic must be very perfect. But he got his master's in fiqh from International Islamic University as well. And his PhD in fiqh and usul fiqh from the same university, International Islamic University, Malaysia. Thank you very much for your coming. Latecomers, not always bad, but you will be better. Even us that come first. Okay. The last one, Dr. Hambali, Dr. Haji Hambali. If you talk to Brunei people, don't forget the word Haji. Even the Sultan also put the word Haji. Even the Haji is, the price of Hajj and Umrah sometimes, not that expensive than Mercedes or Volvo, whatever. But in Brunei, you have to put the word Haji. Then you will get free lunch or free dinner. So don't forget Dr. Haji Hambali bin Haji Wan Awang. Even I put his father's Haji. Jali from Brunei Darussalam. He's the director of International Office and Public Relations of University Islam Sultan Sharif Ali. The Islamic University, the only Islamic university of Brunei Darussalam. But don't forget, they have only 4 universities in the country. And he's also the former assistant rector of the university. He got first degree from Azhar, Cairo. Interesting. Then he got master's in Arabic as a second language from International Islamic University. Also PhD in education from the same university, International Islamic University, Malaysia. I took already 5 minutes. But without 5 minutes, you won't know who are they. And now I believe that you are ready to listen to them. You have professor of sociology of religion. You have professor of economics. You have people of fiqh and sharia around me, Suluddin, all those. And I myself is studying political science. So that's why I have to be in between. Because the work of politics is to put things justly. So I will try to put things justly, and I won't disturb your lunch. Okay? My late former Muslim first minister of Thailand, let me mention Datuk Che Abdullah Lang Puteh, who my great-grandfather, who was the first Muslim minister in Thailand, he said, don't stop speaking when people are hungry and sleepy. So if you are hungry and sleepy, show your hands. If not, I would think that you are not sleepy and not hungry. I will start with our president. Normally, we, according to Sunnah, people say sebelah kanan, yeah. But anyway, Ashabul Yamin. But we have discussed already. We will put the first chance and the first opportunity to our president. What do you think? From the topic for this session, which is a policy session about economic, social, cultural integration and religious tolerance, Indonesian experiences. And you can also insert some ideas or some suggestions to ASEAN communities or even to Asian region. Please, time is yours, 15 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Shukri Langputeh, for the time. According to the Marxist, hungry people can make revolutions. Well, I wrote a paper. If I read this paper, probably it will take 1 hour. So the title of my paper is Islam and Socio-Cultural Integration in Indonesia. Let me start with a book. A journalist, a former Reuters journalist, her name is Elizabeth Pisani, published a book in 2014 under the title Indonesia, etc., Exploring the Improbable Nations. The question is, why should she put etc. in the title? And then I read the book. She said, the word etc. is important for Indonesia because it was mentioned in the Declaration of Independence or Proclamation of Independence by Sukarno, when Sukarno said, "We people of Indonesia hereby declare the independence of Indonesia, the details of the transfer of power, etc., will be worked out carefully and as soon as possible." Sukarno and his friend deliberately put etc. because Indonesia has so many problems. You put everything there, you cannot declare the independence. And why improbable nation? This is another diction that is very important. Pisani said, Indonesia is a very diverse country. Now, according to the current statistic, the population of Indonesia is 276 millions. More than 276 millions, and the majority of them are Muslims, namely 87%, or 241 millions are Muslims. But we have also significant religious minorities. The Christians about 10%, the Hindus about 1.6%, the Buddhists at about 0.7%, and so on. But these people live in separate islands. In certain island or province, the Hindus are majority, like in Bali. And in certain provinces, the Christians are majority, like in East Nusa Tenggara, in Papua, North Sulawesi, Maluku, and North Sumatra. The Christians are also this religious significant minority or large minority. So Pisani said like this, I quote her, in Indonesia, the Acehese in the west and the Papuans in the east have different skin colors, speak different languages, eat different food, listen to different music, and pray to a different God. So this is a plastic descriptions of Indonesia. But with this big and very diverse country, Indonesia can unite itself under a nation state. So it is not surprising that the motto of Indonesia is Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. I think this is a Sanskrit word. So I usually translate it not as unity in diversity, but it is a diversity in unity. So Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. On this occasion, so I want to discuss a little bit about Indonesian strategy to manage, to address the cultural and religious diversity in the country. I will not talk about the economics because I'm not the expert on the economic. And second reason is because my friend said people do not fight each other because they have different opinions. People fight each other because they have different incomes. Okay, let me start with the cultural issue. Before the independence in 1930s, in Indonesia, we had what is called the cultural polemics. At that time, the writer and also philosopher Sultan Takdir Ali Shahbana said that because we don't have independence yet, Indonesia had no culture. What we had at that time was the pre-Indonesian culture. And the pre-Indonesian culture was feudal and not democratic and emotional or something that is look like backward. So he proposed that the Indonesian culture should be following the Western culture, which is rational and then materialistic and so forth. And then another Indonesian intellectual, Ki Hajar Dewantara, and also followed by Dr. Sotomo, said, no, we are in the East, have our own culture, rich with culture. We combine emotion with intellectual reasons, we combine individuality with collectivity and so forth. And then there is another Muslim intellectual, Muhammad Nasir. He said, the future of Indonesian culture should follow Islamic culture, exemplified by the Muslim in the Middle Ages. He proudly quoted Gibb, who said, Islam is indeed more than a system of theology, it is a complete civilization. So there was a discussion between East and West, Islam in the West, modernity and so on. And then Sultan Syahrir, who was to become the first Prime Minister of Indonesia, wrote like this. He said, East and West are not the choice because both of them would be left behind and currently sinking into the past. After the independence, a group of writers called Gelanggang Group, they have a declaration on Indonesian culture. Let me read the declaration. In 1950, they wrote, we are the legitimate heirs of the world culture, and we continue this culture in our own way. When we talk about Indonesian culture, we don't think about polishing the results of old culture until they shine to be proud of, but we think about a healthy new cultural life. So the spirit of this universal human culture is actually the spirit of modernity. How was the response of the Muslim intellectuals and ulama at the time? we had different kind of responses. But let me give you just two of them. One was from the traditional conservative ulama who rejected the Western culture because of its association with the colonizer, with the Dutch, with the Japanese, and so on. And the second one was Muhammadiyah. Muhammadiyah was established in 1912. This is a reformist Muslim organization. They decided to accommodate modernity brought by the colonial power, but at the same time, they tried to reform the understanding of Islam in line with modernity. But these two forces, in the long history of Indonesia, eventually came together. They meet each other. The traditionalist, conservative ulama, who in 1926 established Nahdlatul Ulama, eventually modernized themselves. And Muhammadiyah also tried to study the Islamic religious traditions. They established pesantren, Islamic boarding schools like the Nahdlatul Ulama. While the Nahdlatul Ulama now have universities, orphanage, hospitals, and so on. So they have these two kind of combinations in Indonesia with different emphasis. So the slogan of NU, Nahdlatul Ulama now, is Islam Nusantara, while Muhammadiyah's slogan is Islam Berkemajuan, Progressive Islam. So Indonesian Islam, I think, is Islam Nusantara yang berkemajuan. So during the Suharto period, I think this is also very important to note. During the Suharto period, we had no political freedom, especially for Islamic groups. The state control of the Islamic groups was very strong. But at the same time, the intellectual, the activists tried to use the opportunity to think about the future of Islam, to think about new understanding of Islam. So let me quote two important intellectuals at that time. First is Nur Khalis Majid, and second is Abdul Rahman Wahid, who was to become the president of Indonesia. Nur Khalis Majid tried to explain that tradition, modernity, and Islam can be combined together. He explained that Islam is, in its real meaning, actually is a universal one, as Professor Jaran explained. It is the submission to God. It is peace for all people, the blessing of the world, and so on. But at the same time, it cannot be implemented without understanding the local culture. So local culture represents the existing tradition. But on the other hand, we have modernity brought by the Western culture. So how to combine these three is the challenge for Indonesian Muslim for the future. Likewise, Abdul Rahman Wahid, he has the concept is called pribumisasi Islam, indigenization of Islam. So he proposed that Islam as a universal teaching can be seen like rainwater falling from the sky. When the water falling from the sky, it is the same, it is universal. But when it comes to the earth, it becomes different rivers. It mixed with different mud. It is like, universal Islam become embedded into a local culture.
3 minutes left.
3 minutes left? Okay. Let me move on to the second one. How Indonesia managed religious diversity. Let me quick. The Indonesian policy for interreligious dialogue actually started during the Suharto period. during the Mukti Ali as Minister of Religious Affairs. He suggested that interreligious dialogue should be started with the idea of agreement to disagree. Yeah, this is his word. So agreement to disagreement means respect for each other. We come together to have common ground, but at the same time we recognize differences. And then later on, another Minister of Religious Affairs, his name is Alam Syahratu Perwira Negara, he proposed a trilogy of interreligious harmony. So the first one is interreligious harmony, I mean harmony between religious groups, different religious groups. And second one is intra-religious harmony among Muslims themselves, among Christians themselves, and so forth. And the third one is the harmony between religious groups and the government. So this trilogy of interreligious harmony or religious harmony become the policy of Indonesian government until today. But recently, the government also proposed another concept which is also famous in the world, religious moderation. Religious moderation is now very important because we have a tsunami of information through social media. We have religious authorities that have been challenged by different opinion and groups, and our younger generation becomes, confused about different information contradicting each other. So the government tried to find another concept that can be, the meeting point between differences. The concept is religious moderation. And in line with this, final point that I want to make, during the Soeharto period, there was a scholar, an ulama, his name is Kiai Ahmad Siddiq from the Nahdlatul Ulama. He suggested that we have to develop three kinds of brotherhood. Three kinds of brotherhood. The first one is Ukhuwah Islamiyah, Muslim brotherhood. The second one is Ukhuwah Wataniyah, the brotherhood of citizen, atau citizenship brotherhood. And the last one is Ukhuwah Insaniyah, the brotherhood of human beings. I think these three kind of brotherhood as a concept is very important and very famous among Indonesians to maintain the integrity, social integrity, and to manage the diversity of the country. Because my time is up, so thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. As I mentioned, I am a political scientist. People said politicians always, make things unjust. So I had to be just to change your mind of politicians are good also. Okay, anyway, thank you very much for the efforts of Indonesian government. We can listen to him. I saw he just finished 4 pages. He has still more, maybe more than 20. Anyway, from agreement to disagree, or agree to disagree, whatever, through harmonizations of religion, and then finally, Indonesian government try hard, slogging day and night, I think, endeavoring hard as well to establish religious moderation. And then I also want you to think about what kind of brotherhood that he mentioned, 3 categories, but don't forget, we have also sisterhood. Anyway, now we jump, from one ocean to another ocean. We go to Maldives, Asia Pacific. So the same issues that we are going to discuss, economic, social, political integration, and what about religious tolerance that happened in your country. Please share your experiences, and also you can put some inserts or also inputs to ASEAN, Asia, or even to the world. Please, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
15 minutes.
First of all, before I enter into the main topic of their day, let me express my gratitude and humble thankfulness to the organizers of this noble event, which I perhaps would regret if I couldn't come over here. I have been hearing the hospitality, the general hospitality of Thai society from a long time ago, but I couldn't personally felt that hospitality till I come over here. I found that in real ground it is happening. So thank you very much for the wonderful hospitality that you have provided for our team. And also, from the first glance to the face of Associate Professor Dr. Shukri, I fell in love with him actually because of his jovial and friendly face. And I was a bit reluctant to join this panel because having a very highly distinguished professors and academicians joining this panel, I've been a very humble person and as a student still, I believe. But Professor Shukri made my day by giving the wonderful environment and also the kind of possibility that made me at ease to have a few talk in front of the delegation and audience. Before I start, I would like to mention distinguished dignitaries and participants and prominent scholars who are joining us today. Let me begin with the introduction of my country. Of course, many of you have heard about Maldives. Maldives is a very tiny, small island nation situated in the southern part of Indian Ocean, just close of Sri Lanka and India. Before the advent of Islam in Maldives, the whole population was following the Buddhism and also prevailing the superstitious belief, just like any part of the world before Islam was advent. And interestingly, like the nature of spreading Islam in Southeast Asia, in Maldives, being a Buddhist country before advent of Islam, Islam came with a very peaceful way without having any sort of conflict or war or battle. Just like what we see in the history of advent of Islam in this part of the world, where if we see in Malaysia or Indonesia, if I am not wrong, the advent of Islam came in a very peaceful manner. So the real catalysts or the push behind spreading Islam, if we ponder a bit of the nature of spreading Islam, what will be emerging or the answer would be? Now, talking to the advent of Islam in Maldives, it came with a very peaceful manner. Since Maldives located in a very strategical point of connecting far Middle East to Southeast Asia, where those traveling routes being connected as a very strategical point. Those who are traveling from Middle East or Far East, going towards the Southeast Asia like Malaysia or Java or Indonesia, ships used to stop over Maldives. As the trade moves were ongoing, one of the traveler by the name of Abul Barakat Yusuful Barbary, who is related with the tribe of Berber in Morocco, came over to Maldives, and he stayed in Maldives. And with the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and by the effort, a very, very peaceful effort, the whole nation became to accepted Islam with a very peaceful manner, just with a hint or a decree of the king at the time. It indicates the noble and polite and calm nature of Maldivians who tend to follow the high authority always. So when the king decreed or issued a decree or ordered to become Muslims, they have followed the decree of our king from that day, that is 1153 AD, if I am not mistaken, the Hijri calendar, 570, the Maldives became Muslim or Islamic nation. Since then, we enjoy Islam. And by nature, by constitution, by law, it is prohibited to become a Maldivian if it is not a Muslim. Which means to get Maldivian nationality, you should be a Muslim. And this is a very problematic matter if we put it in international context, where we are coming, we face a lot of challenges that how you are going to have a dynamic and diverse society which indicates a very intolerant type of concept if you promote that kind of idea constitutionally. So this is a challenge we are facing on and off. But nevertheless, it is written in the constitution that no Maldivians cannot be non-Muslim. So this is how it is now. Now, although I don't have much experience like Professor Mujibur Rahman, who is coming from a very diverse society where they have a lot of experience in terms of economic and social and cultural diversity, whereas in Maldives, we don't have that kind of experience so far. Even I myself do not have that experience. Why? Because Maldives happen to be a one culture, one religion, one language society. We don't have, we have no different culture. We don't have different languages. We don't have different religions. We are following one single religion of Islam, and by sects, or we are following the Shafi school of thought, and also we are speaking one similar language. So in terms of that oneness, we are still upholding on that particular matter. But however, having said that, we Maldivians also facing intolerant type of environment in relations with Islamic interpretations, and where a lot of Maldivians are going abroad, bringing different cultures, different ideas, different interpretations in the name of Islam, where we are facing that kind of intolerant situations in the name of Islam, which is growing bigger and bigger. Therefore, now, government of Maldives has established just a couple of years back a center called Center for National Counterterrorism Center, where Islamic University from where I belong to, working very closely in order to curb and control the growing intolerant attitudes and thinkings among our Maldivian society, because we happen to be enjoying and entertaining this oneness of one nation, one culture, one thinking, one sort of ideology. But however, that interruptions is now being challenged. Now, before I end my discussion, let me tell you one thing. I was very much impressed by the Association of Islamic Universities Association, Asian Islamic Universities Association. I believe that this association can bring a change. Why? I give you a simple example. Okay. Now, you look at our hand, which has 5 fingers. These 5 fingers, in their size and their shape, is totally different. But these 5 fingers, when comes together, it forms a fist which can give a good blow. And also, we should be following the philosophy of Ubuntu that been prevailed in South Africa, where it says that I am because of you. We are not competitors, but we are cooperators, participators. No wonder, no harm having different kind of universities in their sizes, in their experiences, but all these sizes and experiences, when come to under one umbrella, I am sure we can make a difference. And addressing to the main topic of today on economic, social, and cultural aspect, we believe that no harmony, no social cohesiveness can prevail unless we have economic sustainability, we have social stability, and we have cultural diversity. Now, we make very huge mistake by, trying to mingle in with culture and religion. Sometimes we are very wrongful to interpret religion and culture in one basket, because culture is totally a different matter and religion is totally a different matter. Perhaps you may not agree with me, but according to my humble interpretations, culture is something related to the human behaviors and human interactions that emerge on and off in the stages of life.
2 minutes.
But we have to uphold one single statement that says that every human being coming to this world with a very prominent statement written invisibly on the forehead that make me, I am important. Each and every human being, regardless of the creed or their color, each and every human being, if we can read the statement written invisibly on the forehead of each and every human being, make me feel I am important, I am sure we are going to sustain socially and economically and culturally matured society, whereby we will never differentiate or we don't exclude exclude any type of society based on their creed or color. Thank you very much for giving me wonderful time. I may have a lot of other things to share. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much. We jump from one of the biggest country of the world, I mean the biggest population of the world, to the smallest in Asia maybe. Dr. Hambali was not so happy because Brunei was small, we think, right? If this program is only for ASEAN, he become the smallest. But since we have Asia, so you become the smallest. And then when he mentions about his theory of 5 fingers, you know, if you look like this, you do look at Dr. Hambali, he's the biggest maybe, and he's the smallest, you see? And I'm in the between, I'm the tallest maybe. Anyway, it's very, very interesting. I mean, the culture of competitiveness. We in Thailand, I'd like to say here to share with you, Dr. Shakirin asked me, when ICB is going to have, you know, a faculty or college of international Islamic college, Bangkok College, he said, what Fatah University is thinking about that? Alhamdulillah, ahlan wa sahlan, all those kind of words. Because in Thai language, we don't think of we are going to compare เราไม่แข่งขันแต่ผมจะแบ่งปันขอไข่ to make it international conference let me use Thai just for 1 second เราจะไม่แข่งขันกันในการสร้างการศึกษาอุดมศึกษาในประเทศไทยเราจะร่วมกันแบ่งปันตั้งแต่ชั้นล่างสุดก็คือ nursery ไปจนถึงปริญญาเอกเราจะแบ่งปันคำว่าแบ่งปันในความหมายของผมง่ายมากครับทำขอไข่ให้แบนครับจะกลายเป็นบอใบไม้มันจะกลายเป็นแบ่งจากคำว่าแข่งแล้วทำให้ขอไข่ตัวที่สองเป็นปอปลาครับทำให้ยาวนึงแล้วขึ้นไปยาวเลยครับ when you are แบ่งปัน we are together inshallah now we go to the smallest country in ASEAN but still not too small in Asia. Dr. Hambali, time is yours. 15 minutes please.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ba'd. Thank you, Dr. Sukri, for his kind words and kind introduction, and our panelists, Prof. Zadan, and all guests. It looks I'm the only one who's gonna use a slide presentation because it's already lunchtime, so all of us quite sleepy right now and quite hungry. So hopefully by showing you something at the back, gonna make you awake. As mentioned by Dr. Ibrahim, okay, from Maldives, I would like to this there. Okay. I'd like to say thank you to Kirk University, Prof. Jadam and his team. This is my second trip to Bangkok. The first one was a long back time ago in 1999 when I was a student. Since this is my second trip, so there's a lot of changes for sure. It has been for 20 years ago, but one thing never changed about Thai people: their respect, their hospitality. That I will keep that in my heart, in my mind. Thank you very much to Thai people. I'm only representing our rector, Dr. Arfan, who was not able to join us in this event since he is currently in Egypt, Cairo, attending his daughter's graduation. So he conveyed his salam to all of you, to our delegates. So since the other presenters have a lot of experience and background in theology and religion and even politics with Dr. Sukri, whereas my background is only in teaching, in learning. So apologies if I could not deliver as much as what all of you expected in this panel session. So this is our topic. Okay. So Brunei in brief, so I don't have to share about this one since we have a limited of time. As all of you, we already know, Brunei is a small country with a small population. I just checked, our population is for around 450,000, even smaller than Maldives. Maldives, when I check right now, is around 500 and something, 500,000. Is it correct, Dr. Ibrahim? So you're more than us. In that context, but I learned something new today. We just, I think the other panelists also quite surprised when when Dr. Ibrahim shared with us in Maldives, there's only one ethnic, Maldivians, and I check it, it's totally correct, 100%. And 100% Muslims. That's really interesting, information about Maldives. So I still remember during I have conversation with rector for vice chancellor of UITM and rector of University Al Azhar when they attend our last ICIU and IUM meeting in Brunei. They asked about our population. I said around 400 something. So the UITM students itself representing 200 something students, so which is half of our own population, the students of UITM. So even now, Prof. Mujib shared with us, Indonesian population is 257 something million, and then he did mention 1% is Hindu. Is it right, Prof. Mujib? Even it means even 1% of Hindu is bigger than our own population. Okay, interesting. Sorry for the interruption. Just to make things quick, as we can see at the bottom, our official religion is also Muslim, but it's only 81%. Okay. Is it okay now? Can you go down, please? Okay, now. Yeah. Okay. Come. Okay. Thank you. Just want to share quick facts about Brunei. So, as I mentioned before, that is our number of population, 440. So, this is our economy. Okay. There's one thing that allow me to share a little bit of Brunei economy. Normally, when we talk about Brunei, most of other countries share this assumption that we are a rich country, which I'm not saying it's not totally true, but due to our that one is due to our oil and gas revenue. But the truth of the matter is we are currently working hard. Also, right now in diversifies our economy. Okay. And right now we have expanded also to other industries such as agriculture, tourism, and so on. And Alhamdulillah, our expansion has been progressing in positive patterns so far, Alhamdulillah. I will show you in the slide after this. Okay, that is our GDP, Alhamdulillah, is since the Ukraine-Russia war, the price of oil is going up right now. Okay, I think I don't have to read all this. Okay, we are not economists here. Okay, this is our employment. This is the most important part. Okay, this is Brunei social culture. If you can see, we also have like Malaysia and Indonesia, but I think Indonesia is much more. We have three main ethnics in Brunei. There is Malay, Chinese, and then Hindu or Indian. Okay, but just also like Thailand thing. Brunei is a absolute monarchic country. Which Sultan of Brunei is the head of state and the head of government. As you can see here, there is a consistent growth in number of Malays compared to Chinese and Indians. If I could back here, maybe you cannot see, but the increased number of Malays is much more consistent compared to Chinese and Indians. I think this is due to several factors such as some choosing to migrate to work in other countries, normally in US, Singapore, Canada, Australia. And there is also well as a trend in the culture of not having a lot of children right now among them. I mean among Chinese and Indian. Compared Malay, the normal tradition is still there. They love to have a lot of children. As of myself, I'm having 5 right now.
One wife.
From one wife. Alhamdulillah. Okay, this is our data. As you can see, most of our population is Muslim. But at the same time, this is our age population. Okay, as you can see also, majority is from 20 to 54 years old. So when talking about Brunei ethnics, there is 7 actually ethnics in Brunei. There is Bruneians, Kedayans, Tutongs, Dusuns, Visayas, Belays, and also Muruns. Okay, from this, only number 1, 2, 3, and 6 are Muslims actually. 4, 5, and 7 mostly are non-Muslim. Maybe most of people think that when you talk about Bruneian, they are not all of them are Muslim, but actually they are not. Only number 1, 2, 3, and 6. 4 ethnics a majority are Muslim, but the rest 4, 5, and 7 are not Muslims. So, as I mentioned before, the number 5, 6, the Visayas in Dusun traditionally are non-Muslim, but some of them also converted to Islam, and the majority, the last one, the Muruts, are Christians. So when we talk about how we have a different social culture, we maybe not like Indonesia or Malaysia. They have multi-ethnics among them, but we always have this respect with another ethnics as well, or with another race as well, even with Chinese and also Indians. But one thing that maybe quite surprise you in Brunei.
Excuse me, brother.
Sorry?
1 minute.
1 minute. Oh, in that case, I have to jump into conclusion.
The alarm was already sounded.
Okay. Okay. In Brunei, we also have a mosque, also a church as well, and also a temple. Okay. Maybe that's something new for all of you. Okay. Because it was written in our constitution, even though our official religion is Islam, but other religions also still may be practiced in peace and harmony. So to conclude my presentation today, I would like to say that Brunei is generally a peaceful country, reflecting the state of Darussalam to its name as a abode of peace. And the Brunei people usually respect one another regardless of social status, race, or even religion. So I think those who attended our last IUI meeting and also our ICU conference can agree on this. So thus I would like to warmly invite all delegates and participants to visit our peaceful country and experience something unique and different that we would likely not forget, inshallah. So that's all from me. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, Dr. Habali. Thank you very much. I also forward my thanks to the decision that we made in Brunei Darussalam when we have AGM in June to have this AIUA QA workshops here in, so this is Barakah Brunei, even a small country, but there is Barakah there. And because of that, we have here today our Vice Chancellor from Maldives, and maybe, you know, inshallah, bismillah, I am looking at Traveloka now. Next June, maybe our AIUA general meeting, AGM, the next AGM will be in Maldives, inshallah.
Inshallah.
No, I'm not announcing yet, but I'm showing signals to the president to announce after this. Anyway, all those we have discussed, good things about Indonesia, started with all those things. NUMU, I said, N-U-M-U. With apa tadi? Negara Islam Nusantara yang berkemajuan. So Pak Prof Wicaksono bisa terima ya. So N-U-M-U. Okay. Then we go to Maldives just now. Very interesting. One country, 100% Muslim, Shafi'i. And then we go to Brunei. Seems like very, very Shafi'i, but at the same time there are a lot of ethnic groups. So different styles, different, you know. Our students should go and visit all of these cases So finally, we have students from AIUA communities who not experts but know the real situation of our campuses, inshallah. Now, the very important person, because even the president has the policy, but the one who will commit is the Secretary General of AIUA. Professor Dr. Wan Sabri, please, time is what? Time is 15 minutes as well.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin wa bihi nasta'in wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Thank you very much, my younger brother, Dr. Shukri Langputeh. Having him around is like having a lot of people around you.
Good or bad?
Yeah, in a good way, of course. In a good way. And our learned panelists, the presidents and Bapa Hambali and Bapa Dr. Ibrahim. And our distinguished guests, Honorable Dean of Islamic College, Attaché of Education from Indonesia, and also from Thammasat University, Deputy Deans, and also rectors and deputy rectors and participants. It's always good to be the last because a lot of perspective has been spoken. I could go by slides, I prepared slides, but I decided today to abandon my slides. I want to speak from my mind and what I think about the topics today. So please bear with me. I know lunch is coming and it's last, but I promise you to invoke some of your thoughts. Process. I think the organizer has chosen a very, very fitting topics and very smart, those who ever come up with these topics, which is rethinking. Rethinking economic, culture, social culture, integration and religious tolerance in the Muslim world. Now, let me pose this question to you: Why we have to do the process of rethinking? Rethinking means you are not happy with the present one. There's something to be fixed, or you are looking for an alternative. Therefore, you have to rethink of how you do, the way you do things. And therefore, you have to rethink to find an alternative and to find answers. So this is very smart topic to my mind. So let me address this. Let me start with this process of rethinking. So Shukri, if you want me to go through all this, it will not take 15 minutes. It may take 1.5 hours. So let me summarize to you.
I can give you 30 minutes, but we will go to lunch.
Okay. Okay. Now, do we have problems, or is there anything to be fixed that we have to do rethinking? And you all have the answer. You look at the Muslim world, you go by whatever index you have out there, international index, corruption index, even the Islamicity index. Where are the Muslim world? The Islamicity index, we're supposed to be the index for the Muslim. Where are we? Transparency Internationals, where are we? Where are the Muslim world? So it looked like we are having some issues. So therefore you have to do rethinking. Now what are the issues? The issues are many. You said it, you have it. You have it economically, you have it culturally, socially, or even religiously. You have it all, but I couldn't address it all. But I give you a sort of a perspective. How do we read things of this methodologically? Now, looking at economically, Muslim countries and the poorest. By the way, just now, Brunei was the smallest, but Brunei was the almost 3 times bigger than Maldives in terms of per capita. Brunei is 31,000 USD over, and Maldives is about 10,000 USD per capita. So Brunei is way above per capita, though they are small. Economically, financially, we do have a lot of issues. Now, how do we read things? If you look at the current trends today, financially, economically, the crisis, every 5-10 years, we have another cycle of crisis, economic and financial crisis. The Lehman Brothers crisis was not even finished. You have another crisis. Now, what was the problem? And these are world crises and international crises. And it started with big, huge multinational companies. What happened? Do we have to read things? Where did it start? Environmental crisis, you have environmental issues. Our river and our oceans are polluted. There are crises. Now, where do we start to find solution of this crisis? To me, it's all start with education. And it's good enough that you have Faculty of Islamic Finance, you have Faculty of Sustainability, SDG, whatever you have. It's good. It's good. But then, finance, economics, is not just economic values. If you do Islamic finance, to only look at the economic values, the value of money available in the Islamic financial systems are huge. But if you only look at the economic values of it, then we are not solving the problem. We are not rethinking. I have been in the Islamic finance for the last 20 years until now. I'm one of the Sharia advisors for bank. And many of the products were just imitation of the conventional product. It's just put different contracts and therefore it's halal. Different name, therefore it's halal. Is that the rethinking that we are doing, or is there something else that we have to add to it? To me, what is lacking in all of these crises are values. What is lacking is values. Now, where do we start to inculcate values? In education. So we have to rethink of our curriculum, our subjects, our program. Where do we put values? Or are we just giving them know-how, how to do it? Doesn't get into values, doesn't inculcate values. And this is nothing new. Even Harvard University, except this, one of the famous writing by Professor Harry Lewis, published in 1996, surprise to the world when he declared that what a great university forgot education. Harvard is a great university, but it forgot education. What did actually it forget? It forget to inculcate values. It inculcate know-how, technologies, technicals. These are all brilliant people went to Harvard and all these Ivy League universities. But if you do not have values, then you become evil genius. You are genius, but you are evil. So what are you going to create? You're going to create chaos to the world. And that's what happens if you read Surah Al-Baqarah, the dialogue between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Iblis. He's smart. He's very, very smart. But he's evil. So he creates a lot of chaos. So, which model that we are following? So we have to do a lot of rethinking. Yeah? Inculcating values into the curriculum. And this is what actually was attempted by, for the last 40 years ago, attempted by IIUM they have rethought of this and they start to put some values. And that's why you have different breed of graduates. So being a new university, Islamic College being a new university is high time, or it's a good time to start not just looking at the economic values of the program, but what kind of graduate that you are producing. Are we just meeting the demand of the market? It's always these two forces between demand of the market and the demand of the real education. It's going to be pulling these two apart. And normally the demand of the market will win the battles because it's the economic value that people are looking at. Neglecting the actual education is inculcating the values into the graduate. That's why you have all kind of jargon that talk about wholesome graduate, integrated personality, and so on and so forth.
2 minutes.
2 more minutes. That's why I told you. I didn't even read my slide. So where do we start? Now, let me just touch a little bit on AIUA happened is not by accident.
Yes.
The wise founders has thought of this. They created a platform for us. Yeah? And this platform is huge. As of now, we have over 80 universities. If we mobilize this, population of lecturers, professors, researchers, and students of AIUA, now look at the potentials. And AIUA is the platform to reintegrate, to rethink, to reintroduce some of the new program. If you're talking about real integration, then this is the platform. Just imagine your student studying in different countries before they graduate, and what kind of graduate that he will have. Really integrated personality. And you don't need even religious dialogue because he's exposed to everything. Because knowing is the best. And the idea of dialogue, I am by training interreligious dialogue. So there will be another lecture on that if you want. Because if you're talking about dialogue, it is about knowing the others as they know themselves. Now, if you can do that, then the integration will happen. So let's take the opportunity to mobilize our resources in AIUA and hopefully integrations, mobilization, process of rethinking should be able to be carried out in the association. With that, thank you, moderators. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm sorry, my big brother, they have to stop you. Just like when I was small, I'm younger than him when he was the first batch of economic faculty kuliah of UI. I was the first batch of political science. He always stopped me those days. So now I stop him. I'm happy today. I can. Just because of rethinking. I confirm again that in 2015, rethinking process of Islamic universities, education should be reformed or should be rethink. And it happened in Banjarmasin. In 2016, we rethink those days. Then we launched we rethink in 2015. And then 2016, we launched in Riau. And last year, before Brunei, we went to Banjarmasin. We recall all those good things. And we went to Brunei for the second time of AGM. Inshallah, now Cambodia is booking for the next workshop. And that time we were waiting for the next Prime Minister of Cambodia, from Hun Sen to Hun Manet, his son. And now Hun Manet is already Prime Minister of Cambodia. And inshallah, the next workshop of any kind of workshop of AUM maybe in Cambodia, and we may have chances to meet with the Prime Minister of Hun Manet in Cambodia. And inshallah, for the next AGM will be in, I'm not going to announce, but maybe in Mali, inshallah. And here today, because of rethinking, so we have to revisit. Because of rethinking, we have to visit each other. When I was studying political science at IUM, I don't have to go to Harvard, because Professor of Harvard come to teach in my campus. Professor Eric Winkle from Harvard come and teach me. I don't have to go to Africa, but Professor Bochwe from Africa, but he teach in Chicago University. He was the candidate of presidency in Ghana, and when he was overthrown by the military, then he went to Chicago to become professor there. I don't have to go to Turkey, because Professor Ahmad Davutoğlu, the former Prime Minister of Turkey, came to teach me. So I was a student. So can you imagine that AIUA, when we rethink, we revisit, your student, our student can visit and study in different universities, having professors of different ethnic, of different religion even. So this is what we want AIUA to happen in the future. And thank you again for the organizer. Thank you, Achan Wang from KRIRK University. Thank you, Professor Charan. Of course, more Krasai first, the Dr. Krasai, Professor Dr. Krasai Chanawong, Professor Charan, who always our idol, our mentor for young like me to follow him. And also Indonesian Embassy, Professor Wicaksono, for coming to make us, empowered, and many other Chulalongkorn University, the Center of Muslim Studies, as a Professor Dr. Sarawut Ari, and many other rectors and vice chancellors who I cannot mention all those names, but inshallah, Malaika and Jin has already mentioned your names there in Jannah. I stop here, but the program of IUA will not stop. Inshallah, we established in 2016, but we will stop together when Jannah open. Understands? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Professor, Associate Professor Dr. Sukri Langpute, Chairman of the Andaman Institute of Technologies. And now may I invite Ajahn Ampon Kamwilaj, Assistant to the Chairman of the CEO of KRIRK University, Wang Xiangming, to present a token of appreciation to our speaker of the special session on economic, social, and cultural integration and religious tolerance. Just a few minutes, please. Yes, may I invite Ajahn Ampon Kamvilai, Assistant to the Chairman of KRIRK University, to present a token of appreciation. Firstly, may I invite Professor Dr. Mujibur Rahman, President of AIUA, to receive the token of appreciation. And the second one, may I invite Professor Dr. Wan Sabri Wan Yusuf, please, from Vice Chancellor of USAS Malaysia, Secretary of the AIUA. And the next one, may I invite Dr. Ibrahim Zakaria Musa, Vice Chancellor of Islamic University of Maldives. And next, I would like to invite Dr. Hambali bin Haji Awangs, Director Center of Public Relations and International from UNISA, Brunei Darussalam. And of course, our moderator today, Associate Professor Dr. Suki Langpute, Chairman of Andaman Institute of Technologies. So, may I request everyone once again to be on the stage and have group photos. Oh, okay. So, Professor Dr. Ibrahim Zakaria Musa would like to present a token of appreciation to Professor Dr. Mujibur Rahman, the President of AIUA, in these occasions. So you should have big space in your luggage because a lot of token of appreciation from different universities. So, and now may I request each and every speaker should be stand in front of your pictures. So we will have photos. Stand in front of your pictures. Okay, this is one of our important scene. Can you come a little bit in the middle of the stage? In the middle of the stage, yes. And just a moment. And now may I invite all the faculty members of IICB, International Islamic College Bangkok, on the stage now for a photo sessions. Professor Dr. Charan Maululim, Dr. Parinya Prayatsap, Dr. Samit Iso, Dr. Chakit Manoy, are you here? Ajahn Sarihan Kwan Kawin, Professor Visarut Lawiti. So please be on the stage for our group's photo sessions, our faculty members. So thank you very much everyone for joining our morning sessions. May I announce that our lunch is already, set at our canteen, same as yesterday. But before you are going, please check your names on the, the list that we already display on the, of the our international hall to check that which room you are. So in the afternoon, you will not get any confusions. We have two buildings. This is the building 2, number 2, and the building number 1 is our right hand side. So check your room number, which is your room number. So our afternoon session will start from 2 o'clock after namaz. Okay, thank you very much for morning session. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.